G'day, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here today chatting with a very important young man. His name is Morrison, otherwise known as Mossy, who is the second born son of one of our headline artists, the amazing Miss Catherine Britt. Just before I start today, I wanted to say I'm coming to you from Gubby Gubby country on the Sunshine Coast. And I wanted to pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging.
This is true.
What car have you got there, Morrison?
What is it, Baba?
It's a red car.
It's a red car? Oh, really?
Yellow.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
yellow.
you know, so Morrison, what does Mummy do?
Do you know what I do?
Red.
What do I do? Do I sing? Yeah.
Mummy
Play
does.
guitar?
Guess
Yeah.
what? I'm going to get to sing and play with your mummy in just a number of sleeps. We're going to do a show called Songs of Don, which is all
Ooh.
about a dude called Don Walker who
Yeah.
plays in a band with a guy called Mossy, actually.
Yeah.
And
True.
he is the main songwriter of a band called Cold Chisel. And he also writes lots of amazing country songs, like he wrote Looking Forward, Looking Back, which the amazing Slim Dusty sang. So I get to sing with your mummy next weekend. And I betcha, do I get to give you a hug? Are you coming?
I think he might be coming.
It's
Yes,
the best festival for kids. It's all about family, which is perfect doing this interview actually now with you two together, because the theme is all about find your home, find your family, find your folk. And I reckon you're going to find lots of cool kids to play with at the festival, Mossy.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I think I'm going to try and bring them with me because I have heard that it's a very, very cool festival for kids and it's Easter time. So Mummy's going to try and bring both of them with me.
Yeah, cool. Well, Mummy's playing on our new stage, which is called, I'm pretty sure, are you playing on the Narragunawali stage?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
That's a new stage. We've got Mossy, which is a huge tent, and it's a Indigenous word in the Ngunnawal language, which means well-being and peaceful and coming together. So I reckon that's a good name for a stage. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. All right. Well, we'll go with simple yes or no answers. So I reckon folk music is a broad church and everyone is welcome. And particularly in Australia, your music, which I guess is generally labelled as country, I guess. I mean, trying to describe music is like dancing to architecture, as Elvis Costello famously said. But what is your definition of folk?
Well, I mean, for me, I grew up in a household that, you know, a dad that is a psychologist by trade, but loved all types of music. So, you know, when I came home from school, it was, you know, anything from Elvis to, you know, old folk stuff to country to, I mean, one day I came home and he was playing Eminem. So my dad just, you know, yeah, he was just really diverse. He just believed that good music is good music. You know, he didn't like to categorize music. So I kind of grew up in a house that it wasn't about what it was more about it being good and being quality and being credible and being well done and well thought
and being truthful, being true to itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Being honest to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. So he really encouraged that from a young age with me, pushed it that, you know, it didn't matter what I did or what I chose to do musically. It's just what comes out, you know. And I guess when I started writing, I was pretty young. I started writing about 9 and it just kind of came out like that, I guess. I don't know. It just, you know, a lot of the stuff I was listening to, I was really a big fan of Loretta Lynn as a little girl. I loved her, but I was also listening to like, you know, Spice Girls and, you know, Britney Spears and all the stuff on the radio. So it's kind of like these different mix, you know, Dolly Parton mixed with pop, you know, it was on the radio and whatever I heard around the house. You know, my mum was listening to Linda Ronstadt. My big brother was listening to heavy metal music and Metallica. You know, then I had another brother listening to Guns N' Roses. So I grew up in a house with so much music, but which I'm really grateful for because bye, sweetie.
Oh, bye, Mossy. See you next weekend.
Bye. We'll see you at the festival.
I buys a big hug.
He's riding the motorbike off. Okay, off you go on your motorbike. Ready? So bye.
Bye. See you, dude. Oh, man, there's some serious wheels. That's awesome.
He loves it. But yeah, so I guess for me, like, you know, I was really lucky as a kid that I'd come home from school and Dad would have like a new, you know, he wanted me to learn the history of music, and that was really important to him, that, you know, I learned where it all came from, and, you know, a lot of that was folk, you know, like what our music, I guess country music is what I'm part of mainly, is really born from, you know, old folk tunes and rewritten and made into, you know, this sort of modern version, I guess, over the years. But for me, I was so inspired by that early hillbilly music and early mountain music that all came from folk tunes. So my music's really inspired by that stuff, and it's just kind of grown over the years into what it is now.
And there's been a real resurgence of that sort of Americana bluegrass school of music in Australia, particularly. Well, for me, like, I don't know the country Americana world at all, but I've seen it coming up more and more and heard it a little more in mainstream music. And for example, in Canberra, where the folk festival's held, there's this great venue called Smith's that has an open folk jam. And one night it's more the Celtic stuff, and then another night it's more the Americana stuff. And what I love is that there are all these old fellas and ladies there who see it as very much a sharing of stories and music with younger people, and they're very keen to share their folklore, their, you know, what they've learnt in their life, which I think is a beautiful thing that we've tried to continue this year at the festival, while also sort of broadening the church of folk. Do I need to be worried about him near that window, or you're
not enough? No, he's not going to fall out the window.
That's good. You don't want to go too close to the window. Auntie Katie will have a freak out.
From the window. No, so it's not open enough for me to fall out.
That's good.
We don't leave them open enough for that.
That was my first thing. Whenever I'd go to a hotel room, the first thing I do is go through and check all the windows had this, you know,
totally freaked me out.
So I think the country world seems to be like that too. A lot of people play with their parents, so they play with their children. It's very much got this sort of multi-generational thing, which I love.
Definitely. I mean, that hasn't been the case for me, but there's so much of that in the industry, and it's beautiful. You know, I hope my boys are into music. I can see them, you know, loving it and wanting to play along and stuff when I sing. And we do this thing now where my partner and I, when we go on the road every weekend, we take videos of what we're doing, and then we come home, because they just don't quite get it yet. I don't think they grasp what I do. So I thought, I'll just take little videos, and then I bring it home and I play it for them, and they're just fascinated by it. You know, they just think it's like the coolest thing ever, like watching me do what I do. And
awesome.
and it's really cool. So I really hope that I can encourage them to be somewhat, you know, into some sort of art. I don't care what it is, but it's so freeing to have that outlet. You know, I found it just such a lifesaver for me. I, you know, really struggled in school, and, you know, was very much an outsider. And I think, you know, I was probably dealing with some sort of ADHD or something, maybe slightly on the spectrum or whatever. But I think for me, it was really nice to have that outlet to be able to, you know, put my emotions somewhere safely, and also feel like I could voice my concerns, my feelings, my emotions and stuff in a place. Absolutely. And I really want that for them. You know, like, I've just had the best life being a musician. I'm so fortunate, and I'm so lucky to have done it for as long as I do. So I think, you know, I want that for them, but I want them just to be happy, really. But I hope they can go into the music world. But yeah, I mean, I'm the only one in my family that's musical, so it's really weird, actually. I'm kind of like this weird anomaly.
You're the black
family, but
and you've got a pretty extraordinary journey in the past, decade, with your health, and then becoming a mother. And I mean, I've watched your strength through all of that with really great admiration. For someone so young to be going through those challenges, I guess, was music one of those things that kept you, you know, sane and safe in that horrible, you know, facing extreme illness. Yeah,
definitely. You okay, buddy? Music. Music was my savior through that, I think. You know, for me, I think there's two extremes you can go when you're faced with your own mortality, and that's either hide in a hole and, you know, not accept it, and that's okay too, like just wanting to be alone with it, and, you know, going into that space, or like being over the top exuberant and like yelling it from the rooftops, you know. And for whatever reason, my personality took me that road. I just wanted to raise awareness, raise money. Yeah, like F you cancer, you know, release a song. I was all about embracing it. I think I felt a responsibility for young women, you know, to sort of, I guess, raise awareness for you know, the fact that we can get cancer at a young age. You know, I was 30 when I was diagnosed, so I had no idea that was even a thing.
It was shocking. G'day, mate. Who have you got?
It's gonna be like this when I'm on stage at the festival now.
Oh, it's very family vibes. And talking about kids getting into music, my drummer is my son, my 16-year-old son.
Yeah.
And I never imagined that at all. I never imagined that, but he's a spectacular musician, beautiful young man. And so let's do that, which is awesome. Mossy, I imagine you on a drum kit.
They're insane. They're absolutely insane.
Oh, I've got 2 boys. It's so yeah.
It's constant noise. So
it is constant. Well, I can see that your hands are very full, but we are thrilled to have you at the National Folk Festival.
Excited.
Have you ever played the National before?
I haven't before. I heard so much about it though over the years. I've had so many dear friends play there and rave about it. So I'm very excited to spend Easter there and play some great shows and be surrounded by other wonderful music. The lineup's wonderful. And
hey Mossy, I have a feeling that the Easter Bunny knows where to find you. Even if you're not at home, I think he knows where to find you at the Folk Festival. I heard a rumor.
But thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be a part of it and to be part of the Don Show as well. That's really, really special. So
I can't wait to hear you sing. I was picturing you singing Flame Trees the other night, just going, oh, that's going to be really beautiful. And so it's just me and Emma have done it before. Emma Donovan, Queen Emma Donovan from Emma Donovan and the Putbacks. And she's playing that night as well and the night before with her band, which if you have a chance, are there any bands that you really want to see while you're there? Any hot picks?
Oh gosh. Yeah, well, Emma is amazing, but I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of one that loves to wander around and find new stuff. Like a lot I've seen before, but I kind of just I like discovering new music at these things. I find that's the coolest thing because it's not my normal festival to go to. You know, I'm always playing country festivals or Americana festivals. So for me, it's about discovering new music and finding something to
Mossy's putting on a bra, by the way.
This is my sleeping pillow.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay, we're gonna have a little dress up moment now. All right.
I love it. Now we're getting into cross dressing on the interview.
Well, dress ups are lots of fun. So I'm so glad that you are in remission. How many years are you in remission now?
I'm coming up to my 7 years in May.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
it's really wonderful. And look forward to celebrating that and your music and your newfound sort of, because you're really moving towards your sort of power as an independent artist, I feel more in the last few years, and obviously coming into your power as a mum, which I think makes us all better humans and better musicians. My son's walked in. He's currently rocking a very beautiful mullet. Do you want to say hello? Come on, rock the mallet. Everyone has seen Jonah's full glorious mullet.
Hi. Oh, nice.
Hasn't been cut in
Very cool.
It needs a trim. Anyways, it's great to chat. Can't wait to make music with you in songs with Don.
Yeah.
See, I can't wait to cuddle you. I'm gonna.
He doesn't want to say goodbye.
See you later, alligator.
Say bye. Thank you so much, Katie.
Bye. All right. See you there soon. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.